Okay everyone, so back at the back end panel. Bring the camera nice and close. So what I'm doing here now is matching this surround, this bar, this flat bar that I have shaped and rolled this morning. So matching it to this jig. So I'll screw it back together just to demonstrate and move on to the next one. So what I want here now is the front guard. This guard sliding over this flat bar. And we want it nice and neat. We don't want any play and we don't want it too tight either. So obviously the two bars, the flat bars need welded together yet. The two parts. I still have to shape the other one yet. So hopefully this fits on. Oh. My hand there if it was welded. But I can't weld it until I know it's right. Okay, there we go. So it fits nice and snug now around this surround, around this flat bar. So this flat bar now will be welded to the backing panel, or the flat bar will be welded directly to this side of this backing panel. So I'm going to just do the other one. So imagine the jig being the backing panel. If I want to remove this guard, what I will do is I will remove four dome head screws from this position, here and here, and basically just slide the guard off. So basically I will be sliding this part off this part, and these two parts will be welded directly to this face. Here and there and everywhere. I'm not going to weld it every bar, just maybe in about 10 places. Just tack it with a TIG. Then I have to add the slots so I can slide this down between the pumps and the motors of the compressor. So again, I'll just demonstrate this. So this part will be welded directly to these bars, leaving 3mm around the outside, like so, to match this, to match the area of the face, area of this part. So serious amount of work. So I have two of these cut. I've done them ages ago, maybe a month ago. These parts I've only started really today. I rolled them this morning, I done a live stream. So this one's now complete. So I'm now going to work on these two pieces. So they need tweeted to match this jig, or to match these two pieces. So I'll do that now. So if anybody has any questions, you can ask away and then I'll look at the phone. So these two parts are complete. So the diameter of this large circle is 460 and this side is 260. This center line here in the jig is used to well, to tell me where to cut the flat bar. So these two parts now are perfect. I have a mark A and both of them ready to be welded together. So these two holes are used to screw these pieces to the jig, but also I have the end of the radius marked here at this point where the hole is, and it lines up to this mark on the template seen here and here. So I'll move on now to the other two parts. So as I say, these two is complete. I'm making two guards for a compressor. Gabe. Two stainless steel guards for a custom compressor that I bought. She's a big one. She's 50 CFM output. Piston compressor. So now moving on to these two. So first things first, I'm just going to screw them into position. So there's not much to see here in this live stream, but it's important that I cover it because the main video won't go into detail like this. You'll just see me cutting them, you'll not see me tweaking them. So this jig was built to form this stainless guard. There's two of them, and now I'm using it to form this band that holds this guard to the backing panel seen here. So this one needs tweeted, and there's a bit of work on it to get it right, and I've only got one shot at it. So this looks good this end. That's more up at this end needs the work done. But down here tweet it too. I'm just going to screw it together first to get a look. Already the screw's going on at an angle, so it's telling me this here needs to go down this way a bit. So I might need to take a wee bit out of this side. I'll make sure the phone's on her here. Right, hold on. Make sure she's nice and close. And not against the table because it would only shake. Two seconds. This here thing's a bit wobbly. Okay, that'll do right there. If not, I can raise it up if you want. So at this point now, I need to bring this bar in till it meets the center line. I need to make sure that the flat bar runs through to this, or runs nice and flush to this curve on the jig itself. So as you can see, it looks good there. And if I look here, I can see it's a wee bit too long. And the same goes for this side. So this one's a wee bit long too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring it out and tweet it. So as I say, there's a bit of work in this. Back and forward, on off. Probably better off on the phone for this wee bit. So we'll start off with working on this end. So using the flat part of the new grinding bit. So I actually started a live stream about 2 hours ago, and there was a motorbike flying up and down the road, so it was just too loud. I It's actually too warm too. So I just stopped. So what I need to do now is work these two joints onto like this joint onto like a butt joint, so if I'm looking through it I can see no daylight. So hopefully that makes sense whilst they're in position. So they look good there. We don't want the V here, we want the two flat bars sitting flush. So the edges. It's just nice and tidy. So that looks not too bad. I'm going to keep her going a wee bit yet. Hopefully you can see everything here. It's kind of awkward to get everything in view. Unless I turn the table around this way. Right, knocking the camera over. A wee bit helps. Okay, so I'll keep her lit. So working on the small radius first. The end of the small radius. So when I'm using the grinder here, I'm keeping this grinder parallel. So if you can imagine if I put a plane from here to here, I'm keeping the grinder running in the same direction. This way. And that gives me this nice flush joint. So this side's complete. Let me screw her up again, get a look. No, I might screw it. I'll hold it in position here. Okay, so there's a good bit to come off this. I actually think it has to come off this end. So as I say, it can really fit her. And I don't want to mess it up because I couldn't be bothered to roll anymore. You know what, I'm going to screw it for 2 seconds here. Yeah, I think it needs to come off this end. Because the holes is not lining up with the mark too well. So I've got this bit of timber. Here's a stopper. So you know what I'm going to do? Let me just take a wee bit more off. A drink of water here. Okay, so I'm just going to move the camera over to show you what I'm doing here. Rather than keep it in the one position. So it's a bit hard to get the camera over the top, but let's set it there. So if I rotate this, so if I line this flat bar, this curved flat bar up to this position. So if you look here, you can see this mark lines up with this hole. And if I, look at this position, I could see that when the end of this radius lines up to the center of the jig, when I pull this flat bar into position, seen here. But at this end, the other end, is where the work needs done. So if I look here, you can see that the flat bar, is the end of this radius is running past the center. That's no good. I want to keep this one identical to the other one. I want to keep the radius, the curves in the same position. I don't want one curve up this, the two curves up this way too much, or this way, if that makes sense. Basically, I just need to take more off this, so I'll keep it up. I need to take a good half an hour off it. So just bear with me. Take the game off the other one now. So that's looking better. Definitely is, but I need to square it up now. So when I say square it up, I need to keep this edge square to this edge, the lower end of it, and I also need to keep the grinder running on the plane to meet the other, this side. So if you imagine putting this across it, that's the direction which I need to grind. Being over the top fussy here. So that's not too bad now. It needs tweeted still, but the material's gone. I need to make sure I don't go too much right now. So what I can do here now is tidy this up. And hopefully that's it. So I'll take a wee bit off this one now. So see the way these holes now is down this way more, and this line on the flat bar is lining up with the line on the jig. There's probably about half a mile to go yet. It'll be alright there, but to be honest. So I'm going to tidy these up now. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something different. Hold on. Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm out here in the sunlight today. So, some of you are watching have probably never seen my channel before. Do get a look at my channel. There's lots of interesting projects on it. Projects that I have created myself here at home. So here we have a mirror polished aperture that I have created when I was 27, so nearly 11 years ago. Here we have a linear aperture, so it's not an aperture, it's a blinds, not an automated blinds. So I made those around the same time I made that aperture. Here we have a model pylon. Here the van's kind of dirty at the minute, so just ignore that. Here we have a custom paraffin heater that I bought, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. It's all on my channel. So if anyone hasn't seen those projects, do go on and get a look. They're really interesting. Here is a sensor measurement technology that I created. It monitors sensors to high precision, very high precision. That's really accurate. It can move 70, I think it's 70,000 steps between minus 15 degrees to 110 degrees. So basically what that's doing is monitoring different sensor technologies to a high precision, and it streams all the data out. And the platform, this testing station, is validated to high accuracy. Here's other projects that I built. I'm going down this illustration here. So we have powder coating booth. I have a pneumatic handheld spot welder that I built. DIY spot welder. I built one transformer for it. I didn't use a microwave transformer. So that's something different that you won't see on YouTube. It's a pneumatic. This is all handcrafted here. No machine work. So everything's formed and all done here in the street. So this is the aerial atom I designed, and this is so many hours, about 2 years of work in this here aerial atom alone. Here's a smart glove that I designed to monitor the hand joints. So that there's, I've never ever shown that even this close before. But this is actually created, and this will come on my channel very soon. It monitors the hand joints to high precision, and basically what it's for is for detecting rigidity in the joints and also rehabilitation, so physical sort of benefit in different medical areas. Here's the mirror polished box that slipping so many hours on it. That's for this transformer. This high current transformer goes inside this box, and there's 2 high current cables goes to this pneumatic spot welder. This is automated too, by the way. This is you just touch the button. You don't have to hold the button in, and well, you hold it in for, I think it's 3 seconds, and what it does is it latches over, and whole time these one jaw shoots out and pinches. And then there's a hold time, and then there's current, and I can also pulse with this machine. So that's some of the projects that I do on my YouTube channel. Some of them's not up yet. This one's coming very soon, this aperture. I was never going to put this on YouTube. This is why I created my channel, was for this project here. It's really, really special, really unique, as are all of them. And this glove too, so many hours in it. And there's a powder coating oven that I've built. If anybody has any questions, do ask me, because I will answer them. Bonjour, what do we see? I think that's all the ones that's on a project car. There's 2 project cars in this year. One of them's in the car Type S, and the other one's a DC5. And that project's actually started long before anything. This manifold's built for the DC5. It's a 3.2 VTEC V6, and the engine is shipped in from California. So I'm going to get back to this guard now, because this is what the video is about. But I just thought I would show some of my projects because there's a lot of work went on done. There's thousands and thousands of hours. So as I say, the aperture came. That aperture came. This here came when I was. Well, I designed this and built it when I was 27, and I never put it on my channel yet. But it will come very soon. It's polished into mirror finish. So I'm gonna just set this phone up again and get rocking. So hopefully you can see there nice and clear. And I will get started again. So I will go into more detail on those projects in the future, but for now, let's get back to this custom guard. I don't know, oh, there's my gloves there. It's wet run that me. So again, going to continue with this one. This is part, well, I think it's part 12 of this project. Project, fancy guard. So if a manufacturer was building a guard for a compressor, what they usually do is build one square guard to go for the pump station, the motor and the pump itself. I have seen guards long time ago, one guard going over the likes of two pumps. Also, that's another way you could do it, but it looks very clumsy and big. So what I'm deciding to do here is build very complex guards, complex shape, and also very compact. So they're not very thick and they're not obstructive, but they're nice and neat. So I'll get back to this now again here. So these here ends need tweeted still. So I do plan to build the aerial atom, I just haven't got time at the moment. I'm trying to complete my PhD. There's a lot of work on that too. So I'm just sort of leaving a nice tight butt joint here at this point. Could use filler rod to leave this fill this up, but I don't want to weld it completely. Good bit to come off that at the bottom yet. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Okay, so that's looking better now. Still not perfect, but I'll keep her up here. Can't don't take too much of it. Okay. Okay, so that looks good. I'm going to screw it again now. We're going to move the camera back and focus on this point. Okay. So now the screws are going straight in to the jig the way I wanted them. And we have this lined up nice and neat. These don't need to be tight, as long as the flat bar is sitting to the actual timber itself. So that is perfect now. Just trying to keep the screw sort of horizontal, parallel to this face. Okay, so now focusing on this point. Get a drink of water here. So same thing again. So if I pull this bar in now, you can see it's looking really good. And if I pull this bar in, you can see it's looking a wee bit past it. But what I'm going to try here first is bringing the guard into play here and sitting it on. So remember, this is guard 1, there's another one on the garage. This will slide over this lip, and this lip will be mounted to the backing panel seen here at the side of the bench. So all I need to make sure now is this guard slides on to this band, this complex shape band. I don't think it's going to go on. I think I need to take a wee bit off this because the jig's showing me that it's too long. But I'm going to try it, right? Okay, so I'm putting pressure on here now. It's too tight. And I don't want it too tight. Okay. So I have to take a wee bit off it. So I'm going to take a bit off this one. This one here's not bad. I actually think a bit needs to come off both of them, but I'll do this one first. I have to take it off to do it. So all this what you see here won't be included in the video. So that's why I'm doing a live stream. Just so much more. So this side will be easier to grind it. And what I'm going to do here is just put a wee mark on it. I'm going to take that much off it. About a mile and a half or so. So I could use a wee thin disc, but I'm just going to grind it. Okay, so that's a mil of this for now. So that's better already. So I'm just going to maybe try it, screw it in, try it. So I have to take my time here. I don't want to take too much off it because it'll be a mess. There's a screw missing. There it is. Okay. So it's not bad, you know, now, but I do need to tidy up the faces of the edges there. At this point, there's a wasp. Go away. Right, I'm gonna try it again now. 2 seconds. Right. I think it might go on, but I think it might be tight. If I push there, it'll go up. Right, it's just about to go on, but it's too tight. So a wee bit more. I'll just determine what side to take it off here. So I'm going to take it off the same side. Just going to see if anybody has any questions. Okie dokie. What does that say? I do not understand. What am I making? A guard, 2 guards for a compressor. Don't understand the other one. Right. Two fancy guards. Right, we're going to take another mill off here. Same thing again, just put a wee black mark on it. I don't need it, I'm just doing this for a demonstration. So a mill will help. That allows us to come in to where it needs to be. So if I pull this into position and you look down here, I have to be careful here because let's say that I grinded this at the wrong angle and I wasn't following this plane. Well, there will be a gap there, and I don't want the gap. I want it nice and neat. So I'm just going to go ahead and grind it again. This time I'm not going to dig in there. I'm just going to use the flat of the grinder disc itself, grinding disc, because this is where the mistake could happen here. So I'm just lining the edge or this face where I'm grinding up this mark. So if you can imagine me drawing a plane, if I was drawing this model on the computer, or if you can imagine me sitting this here up on its end and rubbing it on a big grinding stone, we want this edge parallel to this one. The 4 points, the 4 edges, that makes sense. Okay, so that looks really, well, it's coming on the position there now. So I forgot to say, do subscribe if you want to see any of those projects in the future. They're really unique. And you won't see nothing like those anywhere else. I can promise you that. Not the aperture, not the smart glove, and definitely not the spot welder either. So if we look here now, these are looking perfect. Well, 5% off perfect. So there's a lot of projects that aren't on the van there, such as the e-bike that I'm building, 2 of them. Just trying to think what else. Other small projects. But yeah, I'm going to try this again now. Screwing it back to the jig. And not the Earl Adam model later. It's a lot of work went into it. So back to the guard. See how this fits this time. I think it will go on this time. Not sure if it'll be slack, but not slack, but snug fit. So it's just about to go off. Wee titty bit yet. Not going to force it on. Because at the end of the day, when I welded this, this here tends to want to splay out this way and be a wee bit bigger. So I don't want it any bigger than it is. So what I'm trying to do is make this sort of like a snug fit. And if anybody wants to know what I'm doing again, I'll explain it. But for now, I'll just grind it. I'm going to maybe take a wee bit more off that side. Down to the back mark. Okay, so that's that side complete. I'm going to move on now to the other side. Yeah, definitely. So we're going to screw this side up. Just remove the bar there. So screw this side now, focus on the other side. Not much to go now to get this to fit. And then I'm back into the garage to weld it together. This also needs sanded. I'm not polishing this part on the mirror now. This band, it's it won't be seen. So I'm going to take a wee bit off this one now. Just have to keep checking the live stream here because sometimes people ring me and knocks the live stream off. Okay, so I need to grind a wee bit off this now, but more focusing on this end, this edge, rather than the whole face. So anybody that follows my channel may notice that I'm not wearing my air respirator. The helmet that I usually wear is currently broke and I'm fixing it. I will do a video on it too. I don't usually grind stainless without having that on, but okay, so I'm going to try now again. And what I might do this time is go back down to the side now because it's nearly fitting. And I just want to close this gap a wee bit. There's no gap there, but I don't want the daylight passing through it. Want a neat joint. Okay, so I'm going to try it again. So this was built last Saturday, along with another. I'll go and get it here. 2 seconds. I think it's lying in the garden. I don't. So there is the other one. I don't think I've ever put the two of them on the live stream together. So they are identical. They are welded right around. Not complete yet. And I still have to polish the weld yet with the machine. But that won't be hard now because I've got a big workpiece to work with. When I was polishing all this mesh, it was kind of hard. And it was kind of dangerous too because if I wasn't directing the mesh to the right end of the polishing wheel, it could have flicked up and hit me. But now I've got this to work with. So I'm going to try this now again. The two of them's identical. And there's 2 backing panels. There's one. So I'm just getting a wee look here to see where I am. Right. There we go. Perfect. So I don't even need to go near this end. Well, what I can do is I can see, I'll bring the phone up closer. So, see if you look on there now, but I'll use these gloves. See if you look at the joint that I just done there now, the phone focuses. I'll go on this side. If you look at that joint, it's neat fitting, right? But if you look at this joint on here, I'm trying to, I don't know, hey, but see sometimes you bring the camera up close to these objects, it goes out of focus. See if you look on there, my index finger is. You can see there's a wee gap. So I'm going to close that gap now, right? Just so we don't have to weld it fully. It's only like a quarter of a mil. So I'm going to put the phone on the stand here again. So this is guard number 2. The band complete. Nearly. I'll put the phone down again. Okay. I actually shouldn't be doing this because I damaged the tendon on my finger Tuesday and I should be actually giving it a break. I couldn't move my middle finger here on the side, but it came around quite well. It's still kind of sore. So, as you can see, it's a nice snug fit, but I don't want it too tight. So what I'm going to do now is just going to close that gap, and that should leave things perfect. So, at this end now, I'll bring the camera over again. So if you can imagine now, this guard being on the compressor, and there's poly wheels on here, and there's belt, the drive belt itself. What you have is a backing panel, and you have this front enclosure, mesh enclosure. What was I calling it? Front face. So you have this front part that slides over the band, and the band has its own backing panel, so you can't get your hands on where the motors are mounted and the pumps are mounted. So here's the backing panel. This is the backing panel that will be welded directly to this band that I formed this morning. 2 of them. So the area, if I was to draw a line around all those bars, the area of this matches the actual front guard. So these 2 faces are identical here. So when I go to weld this band, I will be welding it to the flat side of the mesh. When I say flat side, if you look at here, you've got all these bars just running perpendicular to the main ones, I'm going to call them. The main ones because I welded them to this part over here. So I will be placing this like so, and the band will be welded at this point, tacked with a TIG, and also at this point here to the left of me. Then what I will have is maybe 10 welds holding the band to this back face. When that's complete, I then need to find the center of this backing panel, and I need to cut a slot. So basically just removing 25 mil or so to allow, well, the shaft and the compressor is 25 mil, 24 mil. So I will remove 2 of these because that's the minimum I can remove. If that makes sense. I also need to leave a bit of wiggle room for the motor, but at the same time it won't be much. So over here I will be finding the center of where the motor is, and I also will be removing, but not the whole way up, only halfway. So if you can imagine me now drawing or cutting a 30 mil circle here in the middle, I'll just cut the slot out, the 2 bits. When this band is welded to this backing panel, it will be much more rigid and it'll be perfect then. Then I can fix the 2 guards to the big compressor in the garage that I have built. So I know these guys are overboard and they're really fussy, but I'm really fussy, but it's better having them on it and not having them on it, because I am always in the garage working around the compressor. So if anybody wants to see the compressor, just let me know and I'll take the phone on the garage. So when this band is welded together, what we will have is 3mm. So if you can imagine it, drawing a line from here to here, I'll just explain it in simple terms here. I will have 3mm between this face of the bar and each one of these bars sticking out. 3mm right around, because the band is 3mm smaller than this face, this backing panel. So what I'm going to do now is going to bring the camera in close and I'm going to tidy this one up and wrap this video up. If anybody wants to see the compressor, let me know and I will show it to you. It's on my channel anyway. I think I might have to do this video in 2 parts. Not the live streams obviously, but the main videos, because there's so much work on this. I'll bring the phone over here now. So back over to this joint. And I'll bring it down a wee bit here. So how long is this running? An hour? So, okay, we'll keep her lit here now. We'll finish this up in the next 10 minutes. Hopefully. So sometimes doing work like this is kind of tricky. It is tricky, but see when you're doing it when the camera's on you, it's actually really, it's much harder to do it when the camera's on you. So I'm going to do my best to finish this up here now on camera. So the last time I was working at this, it just wouldn't line up for some reason. I think I was panicking. Okay, so the heat was getting to me out here. So keeping the flat bar's edge flush to the jig. Now what I want to do is close that gap completely. It is closed, but I want to remove the taper in there. So I might bring the phone up close just to do this part, but then again, you won't see what I'm doing. So I'll keep her lit. So I was looking for my air respirator and I don't have it. So I'll keep her lit here. Not take much. It won't take much to fix this. So it's more at the bottom of the bar. So using the flat off the grinding bit. A new grinding bit. So that looks good this time. Obviously it's not there yet, but it's getting there. So this one now needs tweeted. So we're nearly done here, but I'm just going to keep her going yet for a minute. So bringing the 2 bars in and keeping them tight to this block and this block, this block and this block. I can see that it's not far away, but it's not pleasing me yet. Not far away. Okay, so that's nearly perfect. So there's no daylight now. If I'm looking through it this direction, I'll just show that. But I'm always talking about daylight. So if we look, so dark. Okay, so if you look through here now, and them two bars is flush to the platform, there's no daylight through the other side, really. Like, so if I was to shine a torch through here, the two edges are lined up well, and the same goes for this one. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to screw this together. I'm going to demonstrate putting this guard on one final time, because there should be a wee difference on it now that I done that. And then I'm going to finish the video. What am I making? I'm making two fancy stainless steel guards out of 304 stainless for my compressor that I built in the garage. So this is the band that holds the faces that you see there and there. So hopefully you understand, or everyone understand. So there's a bit of work on it. What I could have done here is created, just get a wee tab to show you what I'm talking about first. So I have a bit of stainless in my hand here. There's a bit of stainless. So what I could have done here is I could have created a pile of tabs 3mm in from this edge. If you can imagine this being an edge here. If I was to put a straight edge down here, 3mm in, I could have tacked a pile of tabs around it. Well, 4. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to give myself more work. And what I've done is I've created this band that matches, closely follows the perimeter of this face in here. And this band will be welded directly to this face every probably 10 places or 10 positions. Haven't made my mind up yet what way. On that note, I'll take this into the garage and see how well it looks when this band's welded and sitting on top of it. So, just to point out again, here's the two that I done just before the live stream. I think I might have done them at the start of the live stream. So, when they line up together like so, this one now is identical to this band. I have just tweeted this band on this live stream, and as you can see there's a lot of work, so I'm going to put it in position now and I'm going to mark it so we know. I'm going to mark this one B. So do subscribe everyone if you haven't done already. You will see more interesting projects in the future. This is just something at the minute to keep things going, to keep the channel going, and it needs to be done. The other projects is much more interesting and I would call them unique. So I'm going to fix this now. There's thousands of hours went into the other projects, and there's hundreds of hours went into this one. I mean hundreds. I'm on about the whole compressor. No, the whole compressor is thousands. So if you went to buy a compressor tomorrow, you're not going to get a guard like this on it. Or nothing like it. You probably get a plastic guard on it now, these days. And I'm talking about an industrial compressor too. So, I'm going to do this one more time now. I'll demonstrate the two, what I call these enclosures, or front panels I've been calling them. Front faces I've been calling them. Front guards. So the whole thing is a guard. Two-piece guard. Okay, so this should now fall on here. The screws are a wee bit tight. So this is B, band B. You can see it's lifting off the bench a wee bit. We don't want that. So I can tighten here now and we have a perfect radius. I'll bring the camera up and just show that. I may as well. because everybody's on watching. So look down here now. When I go to weld this, I will weld the inside first. The reason being I weld the inside first is to pull this radius this way. So if I weld this side first, it would tend looking like a V. If I weld this side, it'll pull in. And as you can see, that circle needs to go that way, maybe about a mil. Not very much, it's actually perfect. So that there radius is 230 mil. This one is 460 mil when I bring these two together. And that matches less closely. It matches the inside there, sorry. So the inside of this bar is what that band matches on the outside. So I could probably set that guard onto that compressor or that backing panel without any screws. It's such a neat fitting. So I'm just going to wrap up here now. It's an hour and 10 minutes and everything's went quite well. So just demonstrating one final time if these guards going on. If I lift this guard now and I set it onto here like so, and I bring these two flat bars into position, it should slide on. Oh, like so. So that's one on. I could probably take a wee bit off that yet, you know. But if I push in here, there's a bit of tension in the mesh. It will become slacker. So I can work this yet once I weld this up completely. So I'll try it again. It should be a bit slacker now, since I pushed those sides in, the straight parts. I probably shouldn't have, but I can still tweak them with my hands because this does need polish yet. So there's that motorbike coming again. I had to stop the live stream this morning because I'm not going to stop this one because it's nearly finished. Okay, so this now should lighten up like so. There we go. So I'll just bring the camera in close and show this. So if I bring the camera up here now nice and close, see how that band follows the mesh. I'll move these tools out of the way here. So the band follows the mesh right around. See here what I'm talking about at this point. Well, if I push this in, it touches the bar. There's about a couple of mil. You're going to get that because I have a side welded and the other side's not welded. So when I go to fix this guard now to the backing panel, which is this part, the band will be welded to that part and that will be tapped. So see the holes that I've used to create the band. I can't use those holes now because if you look down there, you can see that the holes in the middle of this bar, that's no good to me. So I need to now move the hole over to around here. I think it's better over here anyway. So I'm going to place one hole here, 4 mil hole, 4.2, and I'm going to tap it to 5 mil. And I'm also going to leave that one alone because that's in the center, that screw of the band. This one here too, the phone focuses, is a wee bit to the right. So what I'm going to do here is reposition that hole and move it over. And this one is miles out too. But as I say, those holes were only used to form the band, as demonstrated today on this live stream. So if we go around this radius now and I keep following around, you can see how neat that band matches the front panel. So what I'm going to do here now is just show the other guard fitting on the band. So this live stream done very well. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't even going to do it, but I just decided to go ahead. So this is, I'm going to call it compressor guard number 1. Okay, I'll set it here so you can still see it. This one should go on the exact same way, hopefully. They should be identical because they're done in the jig. The jig that it's currently sitting on. So there we go. So there's no play. It's the exact same as the other one. So if you want to see this project or these guards evolve, do subscribe to my channel. There's a lot of work went into them. So that's it on again now, on the band. And when I pull that, like so, that will be pulled off really from a panel. This panel will stay on the compressor, but the band will be to this side. I'll just demonstrate that before I wrap up here. So this band's now complete. Well, I might tweet it. Might leave it alone actually, I'll tweet it back. When I say tweet it, I might tweet it with a 5. With that 5. At this point and this point. So let's say this is the last time this jig will be used, so I may as well just draw on it. So here's the center of the, this is the center. What, I got a wee round wheel here. So this is the center of my pulley and my pump. The pulley on the pump is 400mm. Okay. And this is the center of my motor. So this radius, the center of this radius is this point, and the shaft on the motor, what is it? It's 24mm. I think it's 20. No, they're bigger motors. It might be. Sorry, it's 28mm on the big motor. So that motor, the motors on the compressor now are 4 kilowatt, and there's 2 of them. And the older motors had the smaller shaft, which were 2.2 kilowatt. The compressor used to be 30 or 28 CFM. It's now 50 CFM. And one pump outperforms the compressor the way it used to be. So the compressor takes 2 minutes, 1 minute 56 seconds to build up from an empty vessel. So here now to this point is roughly 460mm, allowing 3mm to the outside. So the compressor pulley ends about here. So 200mm radius, 400mm pulley. So I will have a distance of approximately 30mm from the V-belt right around to the stainless guard. So just going to wrap up here now and explain this one final time. So this guard will be mounted directly to the compressor, the vessel, or the pump itself, but not the motor. Not the motor, because if I want to adjust the motor or adjust the belt, I can move the motor independently away from the guard. The guard after this band is welded on, the band that I've just created. There will be a 3mm gap on the outside. When I say 3mm gap, the mesh, this doesn't just line up with the mesh. There's an offset of 3mm there to match this guard. So when I slide, I'll just try and do this. I'll not be able to do it, I'll just be able to move them in until I get it welded. So if you can imagine my pulleys now looking at me from the back of the compressor, I first will slide this part down till I meet the mount points where this will be mounted to. I don't know where it's going to be mounted to yet, but we'll get to that stage. I might have to do that in part 2. But then when that's mounted, I can run the compressor, I can do whatever I want with it. But there's no protection at the front, but there is at the rear. This is the rear of the compressor here. So what I'll do then is I'll just slide this beautiful guard onto the band, and there will be 4 wee screws. And we have this lovely fancy stainless steel guard with hundreds of hours put onto it, and there will be 2 of them. So that's it, everyone. I'm speaking Northern Irish, LOL. What language are you speaking? Okay, everyone, so that's me finished. It's a guard for a compressor, a fancy one. There's two of them. Jane, there's two of them. There's another one here. They're polished and they mirror before they were welded. And they're nearly complete. The video will be uploaded very soon. The main video. So they're for that compressor that has two pumps. The tandem compressor that I built. It's not purchased. The components are purchased, not the pipework or anything. That's all made. But that's it, everyone. If anybody has any other questions to ask, I'm going to wrap this video up now. But as I say, there will be 4 screws holding the guard to the backing panel, and they will be at this point seen maybe here and over here. That will be done using where do I get them here? Do you see these wee small stainless washers? There are 5mm hole in them, so I will be using 4 of them. There's a tractor coming. It's quite noisy, so wait a minute. But I don't understand what that guy's talking about. What language is he speaking when you're actually clearly speaking English yourself? You do get them, hey? Right, this washer will be welded in 4 positions. So say here at this point, down low, and it will be in line with the band, the center of the band. And the band that I've created there now will be drilled and tapped to 5mm. So that's it, everyone. I'm going to wrap up here now, and I'm going to take a break because it's been going on for an hour and a half. Thank you for watching, everyone, and do come again. There will be more interesting projects in the future. As I say, much more complex than these guards. But as you can see, I put some effort into my projects. So thank you, everyone, and goodbye.